Hey everyone, this is Nick, and this is going to be a special reaction video, not as edited as usual, about what Red Hat is currently doing. I've been back and forthing a lot in my mind about this issue. At first, I thought it was outrageous, and I said so in my news podcast. Then I mellowed a little bit, and I thought, you know what, maybe I can understand their reasons. But now, after thinking on it a lot, I think what Red Hat is doing is going to hurt Linux in its entirety. Not just Red Hat, not just Red Hat clones, but the whole of Linux. The desktop, the server, the enterprise, the hobbyists, the community, the code, everything will suffer from what they're doing right now. So let me explain to you why I think that. So to go over quickly what Red Hat did. Basically what they announced was that access to the code of Red Hat Enterprise Linux would be restricted to people with a developer account on Red Hat's platform or to paying customers of Red Hat. And some of you might think that it's okay, like everybody can still access the code, right? Yeah, but when you create one of these accounts or you become a Red Hat subscriber, you basically accept to some terms and conditions. That mean that with this code that you get access to, you can't redistribute it, you can't tweak it, and you can't just create any product that is not Red Hat. Basically, the only rights you have are to look at the code and use it to recompile Red Hat yourself. So this is obviously not in the spirit of open source. Like it might even legally conflict with the GPL. I'm no lawyer, I don't know, someone will have to look into that. There might be an issue here. But yeah, it might even be contrary to the GPL. Now, Red Hat is a company. A company's goal has always been profit. They're not a non-profit, they're a company. But what people expect for companies that are exclusively in the Linux and open source sphere is that they would be ethical companies. We don't have a problem with you making money, we have a problem with how you make your money. If we feel like you sold your soul, that you sold your community out, or if you start doing weird stuff that we don't really understand or don't really like, then we start taking issue with the fact that you're a company. So companies aren't bad, but companies are bad if they act unethically. And this move by Red Hat is definitely unethical. First, if only because they kinda lied. When they announced this move, they said, yeah, it's too hard to maintain multiple repos for CentOS Stream and for Red Hat. It's too much overhead, we don't want to do it. After about a week where people got really mad and started theorizing that maybe it was IBM forcing them, or maybe they just wanted to kill Alma Linux, Rocky Linux, Oracle Linux, then they basically wrote another blog post saying, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We want to kill these freeloaders, because that's basically what they're saying. They're saying all those clones of Red Hat are just benefiting from all our work without doing anything else for the community. They don't contribute, they don't reverse any code, we don't like them, we want them dead, so we're gonna make it impossible for them to keep doing what they do. And the issue is, first, Red Hat itself bases all of its distribution on the work of others. Other people built Red Hat. They just take that software and compile it. Sure, they contribute a lot, probably more than any other purely Linux-focused company in the world. They contribute to GNOME, to systemd, to the Linux kernel, to a lot of things. They really do. But is there a level of contribution at which you're allowed to just grab the code without like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna reuse the Linux kernel, all the code and sell it? Is there a level of contribution with which you're allowed to do that? And under which you're not allowed, which would exclude Oracle, Rocky Linux, and Alma? That's not the spirit of open source. The spirit is the code is there for everyone to see and use. No matter the legalese and the licenses, the spirit is, here is the source code so that everyone can benefit from it. And Red Hat is actively trying to limit that. And the second weird thing is that what they're doing is not going to prevent their competitors or Red Hat clones to exist. Alma and Rocky and probably already Oracle said that this doesn't really impede them in any way. It's gonna give them a little bit more work to go fetch the patches they need from the CentOS Stream repos instead of just rebuilding straight from the Red Hat repos, but it's not the end of the world. So basically what Red Hat did is that they thought a bully was stealing their lunch, and instead of not bringing any lunch or telling someone or discussing with the bully, they just decided to spit in the sandwich. The bully's gonna eat it anyway, they don't know, they don't care. Okay, so that's what Red Hat did. And the second thing is, it's really hurting their image right now. The Linux community really does not like this move, has made it public, everyone's criticizing them, and all the fears that maybe the fact that they were going to be bought, that they were bought by IBM, were justified. These fears were justified because yes, they're turning into a regular capitalistic company that doesn't care about open source or the community. They just care about money. That's what it looks like. I'm not saying that's what they did, but that's what it looks like. And with the community turning their backs on Red Hat, you can be sure that most hobbyist projects will not use either Red Hat Enterprise Linux or any of their derivatives, because now you're not sure if they're going to keep existing. If they're the target of Red Hat to try and destroy or block or stop because they feel it's unfair that they exist, then why would you start using them now? So probably everything around Red Hat is going to lose a little bit of business bit by bit, slowly and slowly. And people who are hobbyists will start moving to community-run distros, like Debian, for example. And once you've learned that on your free time, chances are you're going to bring that to the company where you work as well, if you're in a position to do so. And so Red Hat is going to hurt their business by degrading their public image. There is no doubt about it. They're going to hurt their business. And the real issue is, Red Hat is a major contributor to Linux. They employ a lot of people that work on Linux and open source software. And if Red Hat's business goes, let's not say crashing, but reduces, we've seen that they've already laid off some people when they were making profits. So if they start having less and less profit, they're gonna lay off more and more people. And this means that the contributions to everything that is non-essential for Red Hat, these people will get the sack. They're not gonna have work anymore. And so Linux in general will lose contributions. So Red Hat, stop acting like a capitalist company. You work in a very specific ecosystem. I'm sure you know that. The Linux and open source ecosystem is interwoven. You can't break the community, you can't break the code, you can't break the licenses, you can't break the enterprise part of things, you can't break the hobbyist part of things. All of them need to work together. You just broke the community part and maybe the license part. Without these two links, the whole thing crumbles. You need to maintain the ecosystem complete. It's a very delicate balance, and you just broke it. Take a step back, reverse that policy. Your image will suffer anyway, even if you go back. But at least people will keep recommending you and trying to defend you. Right now, you're in an untenable position. You should not have made that move, and you're just hurting the whole Linux ecosystem entirely.